Hey, what's up? Chris Daughtry here from Daughtry, and you're watching Toasted.
Welcome to Amsterdam.
Glad to be here. How you doing?
I'm fine. Well, it's hot outside. Well, did you
A little bit, but I like the warm weather.
get a chance to look around Amsterdam at all today, or?
Yeah, well, not today. We went to Leidseplein yesterday. It's a beautiful area. Yeah, I got to see all the canals, and I love it.
You been to Amsterdam before?
I did a few years ago, but for some reason it was I saw nothing. I stayed in my hotel room all day and slept. We were so jet lagged, but we were able to get out and kind of walk around a little bit yesterday.
Because that's what you forget when you're not in a band. That actually you travel a lot, but most of the time you don't get to see a lot, right?
That's right. A lot of times we don't. A lot of times we're, at like the other day we were in Paris. We saw nothing. We were at it wasn't a day off. We had the show, and then we drove out of there to come here.
Are you guys on tour with Nickelback right now?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's our third tour with Nickelback.
That must be an even draw. Like, I mean, I guess you guys are both popular-wise same kind of growth, right?
Well, I would certainly say they're more popular than us, but
Maybe in Holland.
it's a good fit. Those guys are like family to us, so we love hitting the road with them.
I was delving into your history, and I have to say, you must have a big pair of balls.
Wow, I don't even know how to answer that.
Well, I mean, you started recording with your high school band, for instance, a long way ago, right? You recorded. Well, that's on Wikipedia.
Well,
You were in a band in high school, and you recorded an album in 1999.
we did a demo. Yeah, it wasn't. I wouldn't say it was a full album, but yeah, we did. We had I mean, we never really did anything. That was before, you could. It was before internet was big, so really the only time you could sell anything like that is if you had shows. Well, we didn't have many shows, and so we didn't do so hot.
But you always, I had the impression, and correct me if I'm wrong, that you set out to be music, to be in music, to create music, and you never gave up, right?
That's exactly right. So if that's what you mean by the big set of balls, then I would have to agree with you. But
Well, I mean, saying no to a band that you actually like and that asks you to be their singer, which is kind of a dream for most people.
yeah, I mean, that's a tough one because you have this opportunity, but you're not necessarily doing what you do. You're only limited to someone else's success. So it's never felt right to me to replace anyone. I don't know. I always wanted to do my own thing and be able to do what we do. So it just never felt like something that made sense for me.
And then the whole TV thing, of course, was that must have been very stressful as well.
A little bit. That was the first thing outside of, playing bars and playing for, 15, 20 people, and now I'm on TV and everybody knows who you are, and that was certainly a big adjustment, but I loved every minute of it. It was stressful. It was a lot of work, but I was up for the challenge for sure.
I read some interviews about this record. You said it's a more positive album than the last ones. I've been delving into your lyrics. A lot about relationships.
Yeah, that's something I know a lot about. It's easy to write about. A lot of it stems from on this particular record. It's certainly more about the good side of those relationships as opposed to like the breakups or the bad days or whatever. So, but a lot of songs like "Rescue Me" or "We're Not Gonna Fall" is more about bringing people together and speaking about us as a human race as much as it is about you and this particular person or whatever.
A song that struck me is "Gone Too Soon." It must be personal.
It's a heavy song. It's not my story per se. It was inspired from a friend who had a miscarriage, and we had just had our twins pretty close to that time. So it was something that kind of hit me hard. Like, we just had this amazing thing worth celebrating, and someone close to us lost one. So it was kind of a bittersweet thing to you want to call and share the news, but then they're dealing with this loss, and that's what inspired the lyrics. It was more about kind of trying to tap into what they were feeling, and I have many family members that have gone through the same thing, so it was definitely speaking not from experience but from
it's a beautiful song.
empathy. Yeah.
Do the people concerned know that you wrote a song for them?
Oh yeah. It was yeah, and it wasn't. It was more inspired by. It wasn't like, hey, I wrote this song about you. It was more like just those series of events kind of triggered that thought process of what it would have been like to experience that.
That must be an amazing moment, knowing that you could do and write a beautiful song about this.
Absolutely. And we've heard from so many people that have gone through that it's helped them. So that's a good feeling.
Another song I liked is "Who's They."
Yeah, that's a song I've never played live.
Why not?
Well, because it was a bonus track on the record in the U.S., and so it wasn't something that everyone had heard, and we had, of course, all the singles that we have to play, and that's more of like a really slow, not really a downer song, but you have to have the right spot of the set for it to work. I love it. It's one of my favorite songs. It's one of those songs that I came up with in like 15 minutes. The lyrics woke me up. I typed them down and I wrote the song, and I just thought it was very simple, but at the same time, it's it's about not having to be like everybody else, and yeah.
Really cool song.
Thank you.
Another thing I was wondering, listening to Spaceship, you open up with the lyrics. I can hear "Leave On."
Yeah.
Do you mean the Elton John song?
I do. I that song was inspired by Elton John. I'm a huge Elton John fan. Rocket Man is one of my favorite songs, and when my guitar player Brian was playing that riff, I instantly started thinking of space and that song Rocket Man, but Rocket Man didn't fit, so I threw "Leave On" in there as a little homage to Elton.
Do you write easily yourself?
Easily, when inspired. Sometimes songs like September or Who's They or Home, songs like that just happened. And you're like, wow, man, those feel like gifts, And then there's songs where you're like, you have an idea and you sit there and you work through it, and it takes work. You kind of bouncing ideas off of the other guy, and at the end of the day, you have a great song, but you had to work to get there. So I think every song is different.
I liked the intro that you did for Home on the DVD, where you said like, "Oh, I wrote this song when I still didn't have a band, and actually I was a couch potato, so I didn't know what I was writing about at all."
Yeah, I had never traveled the world, so it was certainly before I knew what that was going to be like. I was kind of imagining, but it turned out to be quite true.
Hey, what holds the future for you guys now?
We're going to finish this tour up, and we're planning a tour right now in the States, planning to keep going till the end of the year, and then we'll see what next year holds for us. Maybe a new record, who knows? We're kind of playing it by ear right now. We just released a new single in the U.S. called "Start Us Something Good," and I think the current single here is "Crawling Back to You." Right, so we're hope. Hey, maybe we'll come back.